This is Chelmsford Community Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go!
Broadcasting live
online, on air, and on 104.4 FM.
from the home of radio.
This is CCR.
Nita Jumu's City Talk. Sponsored by Ascend Broking Group. Chelmsford 449060.
Good evening, Chelmsford. It's just gone 8 p.m. It's Monday, it's the 15th of March 2021, and my name is Nita Jumu. You've tuned in to CCR, Chelmsford Community Radio, on 104.4 FM right here in Chelmsford, also online at chelmsfordcommunityradio.com, and this is City Talk. On each Monday show, I like to talk to interesting, varied, intriguing and exciting people from Essex and beyond. And on tonight's show, we're going to do just that. For 9 o'clock, going to be talking to Philip Ashdown. He is a new up-and-coming musician from the Essex area, and he goes under the name of Anything's Possible. He's got his debut album out, and we're going to be playing a track from his album and talking to him too. So stay tuned, it's going to be a good show tonight.
Broadcasting from the home of radio. Home of radio. This is CCR.
Nita Jumu's City Talk.
This is CCR on 104.4 FM in Chelmsford, also online at chelmsfordcommunityradio.com. And my name is Nita Jumu. Now on tonight's show, it is now time to welcome a musician and a bass player. His name is Philip Ashdown, and he goes under the alias of Anything's Possible. Now, Philip is from Hockley, now living in Romford. Good evening, Philip.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Philip?
I'm fine, thank you. I had a nice weekend and just relaxing at the moment.
Very important to relax right now.
Yeah, very important.
It is, yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for being on tonight's show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So you are a bass player and a musician, and you released your debut album last October 2020. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's a great achievement. I'm very, very proud of it.
So you go under the alias of Anything's Possible, and what is the title of your debut album? Let everyone know.
The first album I went with was called Hello Everyone, How Are You? It's basically an introduction. I didn't want to choose anything fancy or anything, so I just decided to have quite an open and welcoming album title.
I like it. You know, the reason I like it is because we're in COVID, we're in lockdown, and you're saying, hello everyone, how are you? Which is so important for everyone to ask right now as well. I thought it was quite topical.
Exactly. I thought it was quite an open sort of come and have a look at what I'm trying to do here. Obviously, in these sort of COVID times, everyone's been sort of isolated and quite lonely. I know last year for me was a very lonely year with lockdown and stuff, and I know that a lot of people have been in a very similar situation, if not worse. So I thought I'm just going to go with quite an open album title, like Hello Everyone, How Are You? And just it's an open question really to everyone, and how are people?
Yeah, and resonating with people as well. So your debut album, tell us a little bit about yourself. So how long have you been playing music, and why did you decide to release an album?
Well, I've been playing bass for probably about 10 years now. It's been quite a long time actually, and I primarily just picked up a bass because I just wanted to learn an instrument really, and learn about some of my favourite songs, do a few covers. I wanted to eventually try writing my own music. I've been sort of writing little melodies for quite a few years. I've got loads and loads of music that I've got on like Word documents over the years, and I've just built up all this information and little melodies, and I just decided with lockdown that I'm just going to actually do something with it all, and decided to give it a go and try and write my first album. And about 6-7 months later I was able to self-produce it and release it to the world.
So was it lockdown itself that inspired you to do that? Or if lockdown hadn't have happened and we hadn't been in a COVID pandemic, do you think you would have released your album?
I've always wanted to release an album. I've obviously, like I say, been writing little melodies to just keep myself occupied. Obviously, the bass covers was a big part of what I've been doing over the years. But I thought lockdown is just a great opportunity to actually do something and build something great, really. So I just decided to go ahead, put it all together, and finally get it done.
And how did you go about doing it? 'Cause you mentioned you self-produced it, so what kind of equipment did you use? Obviously you played your bass, but how did you record it and how did it work?
Well, it's all home produced, so I've not actually been into a studio. I've literally I purchased a few little bits of equipment where you plug in your bass into your laptop, you download some pretty decent software, and you use various like drum machines to actually just go ahead and create your beats. All the beats myself, I've had to create myself, all the little drum machines, all the rhythms, and then you put on your bass lines, and then you put in your melodies and your vocals as well. So I've been having to do some vocals myself using some like mobile phone apps. So it's actually quite a good use of various stuff that's available to everyone. So everyone can actually go ahead and try and do things if they want to.
Right, I see. And you're obviously a bass player because you can hear how really very good you are on the tracks. You can really hear that. But with vocally, are you a singer or not?
No, I'm definitely not a singer, unfortunately. It's something that I should probably give it a go, and obviously a lot of people you can self train yourself to be a vocalist. There's probably loads of stuff out there on the internet that can help you improve your vocal skills, but at the moment I literally was focused more on the rhythm, just the rhythm to get you through rather than the vocals.
Right.
So a lot of my songs are sort of vocal free, but at the same time the rhythms are there to sort of get people moving, and ideally the album is just sort of get people tapping their feet and bobbing their head and just getting in the move and the groove.
So how would you describe your music, getting in the move, getting in the groove? Does it fit any particular genre, or does it span across several genres or types of music?
Well, I've often been sort of influenced by the bass and the rhythms that it generates. Obviously, I could have just picked up a guitar, but I decided to play bass because I like the rhythm section and the way that a bass actually gets people moving. If you ever think of your favourite songs, it's probably the bass line that a lot of people probably don't really actually know the bass. The problem with the bass is that I've often been told that it's something that you should feel rather than hear. So you a lot of the time you'll bob your head to a bass line and you probably don't even know you're doing it. So obviously I've often been influenced by that. So a lot of the music I have been influenced is very sort of bob your head sort of rhythm music.
And what type of people are you targeting with your music? What kind of people are fans of your music?
How would I describe my fans? I would say I'm looking to get people who like sort of is a very sort of central dance music. It's very simple dance music. Literally, it's basically a bass and a drum machine locking in together and grooving. So you will, if you listen to the whole album, you'll probably get a sense of that, the bass and the drums sort of just moving and grooving together. So people who like that sort of thing and actually prefer the rhythm section of a band as opposed to the sort of the vocal side of it will probably like my music quite a lot, I hope anyway.
Absolutely, I see. And so you released your debut album in October. How's it gone? What's the reception been like?
So far, obviously it's a very, very difficult industry. So far, I'm trying to get people onto things like Spotify and just give it an hour of their time, just so they can see if there's a few songs they like on it. So far, I've been trying to get a few local radio stations to play it. So I recently got to number 4 in Spain for one of the bigger radio stations' airplay. So
Brilliant.
Airplay-wise, Spain was very good. In Australia, I got to number 1 in the Canberra area for radio play for one of my tracks. So that was very, very proud. I couldn't believe that. Literally, I've only released it like 4 months ago, and here I am, number 1 in Australia. So obviously I was very amazed by that. So at the moment I'm literally just getting people to try and just play it on the radio, see if they like it. I'm sure there's at least 1 or 2 tracks that people will think, actually that's pretty good, and they might be keen on listening to the rest of the album.
So you mentioned you got number 1 in Australia, and that was for Music is a Drug of Choice, one of the songs on your album.
Yeah, that's the final track on my album. That's
Cool.
It's a very anti-drugs song. Just focus on the music. The music is what should get people going when they go out on the evenings and nights out, which we can't do due to lockdown.
No,
sadly. So.
no, we can dance in our houses though. And what about the track? What about the track in Spain? Was that also Music is a Drug of Choice, or a different one?
I think that was the Grim Reaper.
Oh, okay.
I have to check. That's one of my favourite tracks on the album. That's the one that's probably had the most positive reviews on that. I think that's track 5 or 6. So that's been a very good highlight of mine so far. So.
And we have to explain it's called The Grim Reaper, but it's a positivity song. It's about enjoying your life. It's a
positivity song, yes. Yeah. It's one of those that actually has lyrics as opposed to just a dance vibe to it. So it is a very positive song. You have to listen to the lyrics to hear the positive words, but it is a positive song. Okay,
and tell me about your stuff you did before you released your album. So I know, looking at your bio, that on YouTube you had great success playing covers of different songs, and you've had really amazing number of views. How many views have you had for all your covers you've done on YouTube?
Yes, the bulk of my time playing bass, I just wanted to become a sort of a covers artist. So over the years, I have done, I think I'm up to about 127. I did get it to over 150 covers, but unfortunately YouTube blocked a lot of them. A lot of the Beatles covers have now been taken down, sadly. So I know that I did get over 500,000 views.
Wow.
So that I am quite pleased about that. Some of the videos are now quite old, so I have started to do them again. So the other day I did a cover of Sunshine of Your Love by Cream. I did a cover of Walk by the Foo Fighters, and I've done a cover of Heartbreak Hotel by Elvis. So they're currently on my channel, which I uploaded in the last week, and I'm hopefully going to do about another 100 over the next few years to sort of help promote my music as well. So it's something I've always loved, because obviously you've got your influences who have always wanted to aspire to, and obviously a lot of these songs have got great little bass lines to them. So I can play like 150 songs if I wanted to. So I have enjoyed doing that. So that's been a great success of mine over the last few years.
Brilliant. And do you have any advice or any tips for anyone who's listening right now who does something and they want to put it on YouTube and they're thinking, how do I get my number of views up? Is there anything particular you advise them to do to get the viewing figures up?
Again, YouTube is very, very difficult. One thing I've noticed over the years, they've changed things in terms of like algorithms now. So it's actually really difficult to get views, I find, on YouTube, because I think in the old days I was getting like 200 views a day, which was amazing. But now when you check it, I'm getting like 20, 30, which is really disappointing. So obviously YouTube has changed quite a lot over the past, but I'm still not going to say that shouldn't hold you back, because you only have to sort of work out how YouTube works to sort of use it to your advantage to sort of go and create these covers and help try and generate millions and millions of views. So it can be done. So if I was to encourage anyone to sort of go and pick up an instrument and do a covers channel, still go ahead and do it, because it's great when you get the recognition and the feedback, but it is quite a difficult task nowadays. But one of my favourite little sayings is like day one or one day. It's like you decide. So I would say go and do it straight away, because it'll be worth it.
Oh, absolutely. And what about advice for people thinking about doing an album, making an album, just like you did? What tips and advice would you give them? Because how long did it take you to do? It's not an easy process, is it?
No, it's something that I would say that I had a lot of music to start off with, so I had a lot of little melodies and stuff to actually work on. But I would say if you want to go and learn an instrument, I would say it's one of the best decisions you'll probably ever do. It's literally, once you start playing an instrument, it completely opens your mind in terms of your creative skills. So obviously, if you go and learn an instrument, to me, it's one of the best things you'll ever do. So I highly recommend anyone that's got time on their hands or just wants to learn an instrument, just go and do it. Just pick up an instrument and thank me later. So I would definitely advise picking up an instrument, no matter which instrument it is. You'll soon get the benefits of it in terms of what it does to your mind.
Yeah, and why did you pick bass guitar out of all the instruments that you could have picked?
Well, like I've said previously, I've been very influenced by the rhythm section of a band. So obviously the people that have influenced me the most over the years are primarily bass players. And obviously I think bass players do generally get overlooked compared to the glam of the guitar. So a lot of people will generally pick up a guitar over a bass, even though some people will say that the bass is a very easy instrument to learn, but an instrument's only as easy or difficult as you actually want it to be. So you can either just play something very simple on a hard instrument, or you can play something very difficult on a easy instrument. So it's just up to you really about how far you want to take it.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like bass guitar and maybe the percussion section and drums. Those are like the instruments that keep the time for everyone else. Yes, really. They're
the foundation of everything, really. So obviously, as the word bass, it is the base of the whole thing, and it's what gets the whole part of the song really moving.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't actually pick up on it. They're
Absolutely.
They just sit there listening to the person singing and actually don't really pick up what's going on in the background, even though it's actually driving the song.
Absolutely. So it's a bit like football in a way, that you have the defenders, but it's the strikers that get the credit because they're the ones that score the goals up front. And like with an orchestra, you've got your first violin playing the melody, playing the tune, but you've got all the instruments at the back keeping the time. That it wouldn't happen if it wasn't for those instruments. So yeah, I agree with you.
Exactly. Just there's no shame in playing an instrument that doesn't get seen a lot of the time. It's still an instrument, and it's still there for you to explore and understand and make the most of. And I absolutely love playing the bass. Honestly, I love it.
And you're very, very good at it, as we're going to hear when we play one of your tracks. So for anyone listening right now who wants to listen to some of your music, find out more about you, where should they look?
Ideally, you can find me on Spotify. If anything's possible. Hello everyone, how are you? You should be able to find that pretty straightforward, I hope. You can go onto my Facebook channel as well. Anything's possible, where you'll find my link tree. Link in the About section, and that will take you to everything really. So I am on YouTube, I am on YouTube Music, on Deezer, Tidal, Apple Music as well. So Facebook is where you can go to if you want to be inspired as well, because I do a lot of my mindfulness quotes as well. So that's part of the Anything's Possible brand. So I do want to cheer people up with sort of positive energy, and I do have a song called Positive Energy, so you might like that. So yeah, I'll say go onto Facebook, and that you'll find my link tree link, and that'll show you around the whole environment of what I've got so far.
Absolutely brilliant. Do you have any mindfulness quotes off the top of your head that you could share with us? Put you on the spot.
Oh, here we go. I would say stay positive because better days are ahead. I think everyone's had a pretty horrible 18 months, I would say. So stay positive, better days are ahead. I would say anything's possible if you've got the nerve. So I don't think that you can't do anything. I've shown over the last 4 months or last year that if you got a plan, go for it. Really, dream it, believe it, achieve it. So there's plenty of positives there to take. You just got to have a dream. Really, I had a dream, and I wanted to release an album, and here I am. It took me 6-7 months. And I got to do it, and here I am, just having radio interviews now. So anything's possible.
It is, absolutely, anything is possible. I love the name of your album, and congratulations to you. Well done. Number 1 in Australia, in part of Australia, and number 4 in Spain, and I'm sure much more success coming your way. So I think we need to play one of your tracks, and we're going to play Going Up West. So tell us about this track.
Yes, I think this is track 10 or 11. I think this is the shortest track on the album. Basically, it centres around a sort of little dance vibe, and then the bass kicks in, and I'm literally just it's about going up west. So it's about going up to the West End, something which I haven't done in like a year now, so I do miss going up west. So, it's just a little dance vibe, which goes on for about 2-3 minutes, and there are plenty of little other tracks with I would say better bass lines on them, but it's a good little track. Hopefully, people like it.
Thank you very much. Anything's possible. Philip Ashdown. The album is out now. Hello, everyone. How are you? Check it out on Spotify. This is Going Up West.
Soho, Carnaby Street, Haymarket, Wardour Street, Park Lane, Denmark Street, Longacre, Bond Street, Great Marble Street, Oxford Street, Mayfair, Chinatown, Creek Street, Soho Square, Piccadilly, Brewer Street, Pall Mall, Leicester Square, Shaftesbury Avenue, Gower Street, Covent Garden, Holborn, Trafalgar Square, Bond Street, Charing Cross Road, Dean Street, Hyde Park Corner, Tottenham Court Road, Regent Street, Marble Arch, Burbage Street, Strand, Soho Square, Savile Row, Grosvenor Square.
Nita Jumu's City Talk, sponsored by Ascend Broking Group, Chelmsford 449060.
CCR